Hello and welcome to all of our Gold Learning viewers. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications here at Gold Learning. Well, it is my pleasure once again to invite Laurel Wilson back with us here today, and she is going to be speaking at our upcoming Gold Lactation Conference, which is right around the corner. Everyone is going to have the opportunity to come and listen to Laurel and her fantastic talk here. It is going to be on April 3rd. Okay, so mark that on your calendar. She's actually going to be with us twice that day, so you have lots of opportunity to come and listen to her twice. But go to the website because you'll want to know what time she's speaking depending on your time zone. So you'll just need to go to goldlactation.com for all the details of Laurel's talk and, of course, our conference that we're having with all of our speakers. Well, welcome, Laurel Wilson. Great to have you back here at Gold.
Thanks so much. It's always a pleasure to be with Gold. I love it.
That's awesome. So Laurel, I know we chatted just recently, and so anyone that's listening in today, there's lots of really great interviews up online on our YouTube channel. But I do want you to introduce yourself again, but perhaps you can tell us what you're doing in your world right now and what's coming up for you this year.
Yeah, so mainly what I'm doing this year is speaking at conferences on a variety of topics. Of course, cannabis and the impact on breastfeeding is kind of a big topic this year, as is epigenetics and breastfeeding. So I've been doing a lot of that, and that's really where my work has taken me this year.
So a couple of main focuses this year, it sounds like.
Yeah, and it's also interesting. There's been quite a bit of interest into how social media is also impacting the breastfeeding relationship between parent and child as well. So that's another interesting area of research as well.
Oh, interesting. Well, and I was just going to say, I mean, these topics are not new. So you must have been looking at the research. There must be some clear updates in all of these areas.
Yes, there are. There's a lot of new information coming out, which obviously makes my job as a speaker much more exciting when new information comes out and it can inform you and inform your practice. And I think that's a really important part of being a lactation professional is that you don't stay static, that you're always reading more, learning more, because the research does change and we have to change with the times. So.
Mm, absolutely. Well, that's great. All right, so I want to take a little bit of a shift and talk a little more about you, Laurel, actually, because I was going
Ah,
to ask you a little bit about your career.
huh?
So if you go in and have a look at Laurel's bio, you will see that she's actually been working with families for over 25 years. She's also the author of books and is serving on many boards internationally and nationally. So, I mean, how on earth do you fit this all in? First of all, that's what we all want to know. And second of all, I just want to know really what inspires you to keep going, because this is an area where sometimes, I talk to many lactation consultants on a regular basis, and sometimes it really is hard to keep moving forward and have that energy. So what really inspires you to keep working in this field and keep it moving forward?
Well, honestly, it has a lot to do with health. When I first got involved in this field, I came into it with the point of view of an advocate. I had had some really challenging birthing experiences and breastfeeding experiences, and so I came into the field wanting to change things for families. I wanted them to know their rights. I wanted them to be able to make the decisions that felt best for them, and I wanted them to meet their childbirth and breastfeeding goals. And as I've gotten older and I've raised my children, and now my children are young adults in this world, and I personally am aging and watching many of my friends go through this aging process and see our parents going through the aging process, I have become interested in human milk in an entirely different way because I see how it really impacts our health, not just as babies and as children, but it has a long interplay with how healthy we are as we move into these different phases of our life. And so, what inspires me to keep going in this field is to learn about how we can encourage the healthcare system to honor how important human milk is in that trajectory of long-term health. Um, because now I'm no longer working significantly directly with parents and babies in that clinical relationship because I primarily speak and travel, and so my interest has become more in human milk itself, and
Mm.
that lifelong role that it plays. It's not just a relationship between the lactating parent and the baby for that first 6 months to 5+ years. It's actually a relationship that continues long, long, long into throughout the rest of your life.
Incredible. And I'm what I'm hearing you talk about is just the fact that, you're in it for the long haul because you see the longevity, you're seeing it in the research, and so therefore it's moving you forward, whether you like it or not, but it's moving you
Yeah,
forward.
definitely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's now shift a little bit and let's talk about your presentation.
Sure.
And wow, I mean, when I saw this one, I was super impressed because this really, to me, is like the nitty gritty, and I know you have a great way of expressing it too. So, talk to me how breast milk acts as a communication and gene expression tool between mother and child. So, tell us a little bit about this, just a snippet, because I
Sure.
want, I don't want you to give everything away,
Of
but
course.
give us a little snippet and what you're really looking forward to sharing with our audience.
Yeah, well, for ages, breast milk has been, there have been a variety of kind of keywords that have been associated, like the gold standard and the ultimate nutrition and and lots of different ideas about what human milk really was. And the more that I read research about breast milk, the more that I realize that ultimately what it really is a communication tool. It's providing information for that baby's body that literally will reside in the human body for the rest of its life. And that communication, the most important time that we receive those messages from our parent is in those first few years of life, and we can't ever change what those messages are. And so to receive that human milk messaging is so vitally important. So I'm looking forward to sharing just a few of the ways that breast milk is acting as a communication tool through the epigenome, through even the saliva of the baby, how it's literally changing mom's brain expression, and there's so much interaction that occurs through not only the breast milk itself, but also the act of human milk feeding that changes things for us and is delivering that constant message. I keep going back to that idea of um, now the human body like a cell phone, and human milk is just providing all these different apps on our phone based on our needs. So I'll be talking a lot about
Great
that.
analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Hmm.
that's a great way to look at it because it does need to translate so that we can understand it. I mean, a lot of this
Hmm.
research is really in depth, but I know that you will definitely be communicating that very well to us as you always do. So thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
that.
I
I
look
really
forward
can't
to
wait
it.
to hear. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing more. It takes communication to a different level and understanding the different ways that biologically our bodies are essentially communicating on internally. So that's wonderful. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much, Laura Wilson, for being with
You.
us here today.
Thank you,
And
Fiona, and thank you, Gold.
and thank you so much to once again to our listening audience. We'll look forward to having you all check in to the website. So again, this is Laurel is our keynote presenter for our Gold Lactation 2018. She will be presenting on April 3rd. So do join us for that. And if you can't come for the live event, of course, it will be available in a recording format as well. Well, thank you again to Laurel and to our listening audience. Bye-bye for now, everyone.